Welcome back to AM Northwest. From Oscar-worthy movies to another TV series, Oregon is booming with television and film productions. And here with an update, we're happy to welcome back casting director Lana Veenker. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
It really is Oregon and the Portland area in particular. We have turned into a mini Hollywood.
It's been great. There's so much production going on, and there's a lot of buzz now because a lot of these productions that have been shooting are getting ready to premiere at various festivals and to be opening nationwide. So.
Like Wild.
Wild, that shot here, that was based on Cheryl Strayed's best-selling memoir. It premiered at Telluride this past weekend. It's having its big international premiere at Toronto next Monday, and it's going to open in theaters in December. We're really excited about that one.
And how much did they shoot around here?
You know, they shot in more locations around the state in Oregon than any other project has ever shot. They went from Crater Lake all the way up to the Bridge of the Gods on the Columbia River. And apparently, I haven't seen the film yet. I'm going to see it on Monday at the premiere. Apparently, it's a postcard to Oregon. I mean, it just looks amazing. And there's already Oscar buzz for Reese Witherspoon and maybe even Laura Dern as Best Supporting Actress.
And when films like this produce in Oregon, obviously, it's a postcard for Oregon. It showcases our state. It's wonderful. But there's a real economic impact to the state. People make money off these.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think the Film Office reported over the last 2 years, what did they say? $235 million in revenues. Yeah. So, I mean, that just, to me, is a testament.
Where does all that come from? Is it from employing local actors? Is it from employing local businesses? Where are we seeing it?
All of the above. I mean, most of the productions that shoot here are using mostly Oregon crew, Oregon actors. They bring in a few key people in from out of state, but the grand majority are people from here. And then they're spending money in businesses all over the state. I mean, imagine when they were shooting down in Crater Lake or in Ashland or Bend. I mean, they're spending money in the restaurants, they're staying in the hotels, they're buying lumber, they're buying props, they're buying costumes. So it's got a wide impact.
What about Box Trolls?
Box Trolls just premiered at Venice Film Festival a couple days ago, and it's opening nationwide, I believe, on September 26th.
This is Leica.
That's Leica's stop-motion animation film.
So all of that was done here in Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
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 And TV series, Grimm, Portlandia, and now we have The Librarians.
Yes. So Portlandia, I think is going to start their new season at the beginning of the year. The other network show that we work on is beginning its 4th season on October 24th. And this new series, The Librarians, which is for TNT, starring Noah Wiley and Rebecca Romaine, is going to air in December. We just did the 1st season of that, and if all goes well, we'll get a 2nd season next year.
And that show, The Librarians, the same team that brought Leverage is behind that show, right?
Yeah.
So clearly they loved working up here.
Oh, they love it, and they still do. I mean, they've invested a lot of money in staying in Oregon. They've got their own studios now out there in Clackamas.
What's in it for these production companies, these producers, to come here? Obviously, there's some financial incentive. We make it work for them, don't we?
There's a financial incentive, you know, but our incentive is much smaller than many other states. I mean, California just passed an incentive program, $330 million. Ours is $10 million. So we've done a lot with very little. We'd love to see it increased. I think.
Yeah, what can we do to increase that? Because we've actually interviewed actors who are doing a show about Portland, but they're shooting in Vancouver, BC.
Yes, because there's such a high demand to shoot here, but not a very big program. The Film Office, unfortunately, is ending up having to turn away. They just turned away 15 to 20 productions. So we got an increase this year, which we're very grateful about. We went from $6 million to $10 million in incentives, but once the fiscal year started, you know, there was like a mad rush for those incentives, and 2 months after the fiscal year started, we're already out. So for the rest of the year, the Film Office has got its hands tied. So.
Now, you as a casting director have the fun job of helping find local talent, especially. I would imagine the payroll for actors locally has gone way up.
Oh, it has, yes. And we're getting actors, you know, that are getting recurring roles. I'm sure you've seen some of the shows shooting around town. You'll see some of the same characters popping up. Every time those actors go back to do another episode, they get another big paycheck with all the residuals that come with that. And we've got several independent films shooting right now, so there are some smaller projects that are still going to shoot despite the fact that we're out of incentive dollars. There's a handful of indie films that are starting up right around now, and so actors are going to have opportunities on those as well.
You've been in the business 15 years now, right?
Yes.
So what's changed in the 15 years?
Oh my gosh. Yes, we're celebrating our 15th anniversary in October. And I remember when I first started out, well, first of all, I mean, I didn't even own a car when I started my business. So I didn't have any equipment. I started very small. But back in those days, you know, it wasn't so digital. I mean, I had a 2 VHS or VCRs, and I had to edit my casting tapes with the remote controls, trying to stop and start the tapes at the same time. And we used to use Polaroid film to take photos of actors. I think I've got some of you from back in the day on our wall of shame. And you know, agents used to have to run around to all the different casting offices and drop off these big headshot packets. And we used to have to race to the airports for the last FedEx if we had tapes we had to ship to a client in LA or something. And it's all digital now, so it just goes so much faster. We're not staying late at night editing or stapling things together.
And aren't you blown away by the local talent that we have when it comes to actors and actresses in town? Because there's so many talented people, so many local theater companies.
Yeah, it's really developed, and I think the benefit of having all these projects shoot here over the years is the actors have gotten really savvy. They've improved their skills. They've gotten much better at auditioning on a level that our LA clients and our New York clients expect them to be. So that's just telling the productions that, you know, they don't have to bring in people from out of state because we have it here.
We have it, yeah. And also, I think we have a pretty respectful community of the production crews. When they've got to block off a street or they've got to take over a neighborhood, people seem to understand.
That's true.
And it seems the city works well with them, and everyone gets the job done.
Yeah, everyone just pitches in. Everyone just wants the jobs. They want the money. They want the prestige. They want the reputation, and they want to see Oregon doing well. So I think
well, let's get more incentives.
Yeah, indeed. All right. And we'll have more information too on our website at KATU.com. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Congratulations, 15 years.
Yes.
It's a lot of Polaroids.